5. Check 1, check 2. Check, check, check. I've got power, but no Ethernet. And that was the problem yesterday, but we figure we're not going to get any tonight.
There's no stadium guest?
There's Wi-Fi, but no Ethernet. Check, check, check.
Thank you.
Do we have it, Patrick? Oh. Check 1, check 2. I'm not getting it. It's just loading. You're telling me everything's fine and I can stop? You've got power?
Tonight's game sponsor is Greencom Financial Group. Tonight's umpire behind the plate, Marcus Lasagna, and on the base.
Welcome into Boulder Collegians baseball from Tucson, Arizona. I am Jake Shapiro, and I am joined by my partner Patrick Lyons for this matchup between the Collegians and the Tucson Kings. Last night, the Boulder Collegians won by a score of 12-3 after a big first inning and tripping in runs throughout the course of the game. Tonight, they are back in their baby blue uniforms as Mitch Trinka takes the mound from the left side and will try to provide good depth for the Collegians. Patrick, two big lefties going back-to-back for the Collegians.
We saw them last week on Thursday. They pitched in the same game. Now manager Matt Senna has split up that pair and give them each their own start. We'll potentially look to see Nick Clausen, Jordan Kyle, and I have a hunch that possibly Gabe Gioso and Nathaniel Bresner Mendoza may be featured later in the game.
Leading off for the Kings is the center fielder. On the first pitch from Trinka. First pitch time at 6:56 was moved up 10 minutes. Caught us a bit off guard, excuse us. Trinka then goes from the windup and deals a second pitch ball. Trinka on 1-1. Throws a pitch too high to Opreza. He'll go back to his mound and take the third pitch. Take his fourth pitch. Inside on a fastball. The 3-1. It's a fastball down the middle. Brett Bonar catching Mitch Trebinka. It's Bonar's first start with the Collegians, joining the team yesterday from Barton Community College. The 3-2. Swung on and missed, and Trinka has his first strikeout of the night. Patrick, take us around the field tonight for the Collegians.
Well, as you mentioned, Trinka on the hill and Brett Bonar will be doing the catching. At first base, Mark Taylor gets the start. At second, Bryce Bullock, and at short, Addison Kosh. Third baseman Danny David Linehan rounds out the infield. In the outfield from left to right, Dave Neal. In center, Nico Nincy, and in right, making his first start, Barton Community College right fielder Brady Mitchell.
Trinka misses the first two pitches to the second night batter, or rather king batter, Black. Black will be playing shortstop tonight. I'm sorry, he's the right fielder. Where's number 6? I've got my numbers crossed up. Andrew Black. He takes a third pitch for a ball. Trinka's got himself down 3-0. That pitch is in there for a strike to Bonar. Rocks and fires. Trinka's pitch is sprayed in towards foul territory. This will get up and over the dugout for a foul ball, and Trinka's once again at 3-2. The Collegians in white caps tonight with red bills. Many players still donning sunglasses as the sun is still very bright here in Tucson. The 3-2, Trinka misses, that's a walk. Light blue, baby blue uniforms with white Boulder across the chest, red accents on both the numbers and Boulder across the chest, with white pants and red stirrups or socks with blue stripes.
The rest of the night's lineup features, right here at the plate, left fielder Marcus Catalanato. Batting fourth, Joseph Escarcega. Fifth, the DH, Dakota Martin.
This one fouled back.
Batting sixth, the shortstop, Brandon Holbert. At third base, Dallas Binder. Catching, Jake Leolos. The extra hitter hitting ninth, Cameron Gallo. And rounding out the lineup in the 10th spot is the second baseman, Chad Dietering.
The 0-1 from the stretch, holding the runner on. Trinka does a nice job there, and this one fouled back by Catalano. That is strike three. Strike three from Trinka, and he's got his second strikeout of the first inning. 2 strikeouts and a walk.
Trinka with a nice curveball down and away to the right-handed hitting Catalanato. He mentioned that's his go-to pitch when he gets up early. He'll throw that against right-handed hitters as well as left.
Trinka's got a 4-seam fastball, a 2-seam fastball. A couple off-speed pitches. Starts this one with what appears to be a 2-seam fastball in there for a strike. First pitch temperature was 100 degrees here in Tucson. Make that 101. The high was 105 today. Many players enjoyed some time at the pool this afternoon. Trinka from the stretch on 0-1. And Escarcega backed out. Called time before the pitch was thrown. Sun sets at 7:25, so it'll be setting just about after the first inning here. Wind moving at 11 miles per hour from left to right towards the west. This pitch grounded towards the third baseman, Danny David Linhan, and he throws it across the diamond to Mark Taylor, and that's the third out of this first inning. Before the start of this game, I caught up with Bryce Bullock, the second baseman tonight, and here he is. Catching up with second baseman, batting 8th tonight, Bryce Bullock. Bryce, playing in beautiful Tucson, Arizona on a gorgeous field. What was it like last night?
The atmosphere was awesome. I actually found out that this was the same field Randy Johnson killed a bird on, so it's kind of cool. It has some history. Great field, great lights, great infield dirt. It's just awesome.
Struggled a bit last night. Was, not the night you wanted at the plate. How are you going to try and right the ship tonight?
I think just trusting my hands, trusting the pitches that I get, and just seeing it a little bit deeper, trying to hit balls like in my zone and just do something that I know I can with it.
You've had great starting pitching throughout the course of the year, and that's how teams are built, and we're seeing that through the first few weeks here. How fun is it to play behind some of these guys? And I know you've already played behind tonight's starter.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. Just seeing the confidence that they have in themselves just kind of translates all the way out to the field, and it's really good, I think, for our whole team, and just getting more used to them and how they pitch and their tempos makes it a lot easier on us infielders.
This trip has been a learning experience on and off the field as you get to know a new group of boys. What
yelled a lot, moving with each other, eating and getting acclimated to a hotel. A lot of team chemistry. Tonight,
batting 8th, middle infield mate Addison Kosh. Around the lineup, Patrick, we will see Nico playing center field, and then David Neal in left batting third.
In the cleanup spot, catcher Brett Bonar hitting 5th. The DH, number 8, Gabe Gioso. In right field, batting 6th, Brady Mitchell. Batting 7th, the first baseman, Mark Taylor. The 8 hitter, as you mentioned, Bryce Bullock, the second baseman. Batting ninth, Danny David Linehan at third base. And finally, the extra hitter tonight, Andrew Meadows.
And Trevor Hill on the mound for the Tucson Kings starts out Cash with a strike at the knees. Hill from the windup starts on the first base side of the rubber. Throws one in the dirt. The Kings in black uniforms, very similar to the old Pittsburgh Pirates jerseys of the early 2000s, black caps with K on them in yellow and a yellow bill. The 1-1, this one shot into right center field. Moving back is Camilo, and this is going to two-hop the fence. Moving towards second is Cash. He's going to round second, headed for third. The throw to third is not going to be in time, and Addison Cash starts the game off with a leadoff triple for the Collegians. The same exact thing happened last night for Cash as he led the game off with a leadoff triple and came in on a wild pitch during the at-bat of Bullock. Now Nico Nincy will try to drive in not Bryce Bullock, but Addison Cash from third base. First pitch to Taylor, or Nincy rather, and that is a strike on the outside. On 0-1 from the stretch, checks the runner at third, then delivers, and Hill's pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Jake Lagos. Well, we've heard a few names around the diamond, and we'll get the rest for you after this pitch. Both teams in home white pants. The Collegians the home team here.
Hill and Lialios make up your battery at first.
Pitch, this one chopped up the middle, and that's going to score a run. Nincy is in safely at first, and he has himself an infield RBI single for the Collegians as they take a 1-0 lead in the first.
Excellent piece of hitting by Nincy, getting the ball, keeping it on the right-hand side, allowing Kosh to score. From left to right in the outfield for the Tucson Kings is Marcus Catalanato. In center, David Oropeza. And in right, Andrew Black.
First pitch swung on and missed by Neal. Neal may be the best slept Collegian last night. Got to bed early. Slept through the first portion of breakfast. Maybe he'll see the ball well today. This one's an easy play for Escarseca, and he'll take it himself to the bag for a 3 unassisted. Now coming up is Brett Bonar, who substituted into last night's game and the middle portions, and in the 7th he rocked an opposite field double, then struck out. The Collegians only struck out twice in the game last night, and Bonar did it in the 9th inning. He comes from Barton Community College, where he slugged over 700 this past season and batted above 400. On base 498, and this first ball is fouled off towards us, and you hear it rattle against the press box awning. On 0-1, Hill looks in, grabs his sign from the stretch. On second is Nincy. And Bonar taps this one to the first baseman, and Escarcega will do it again, and he assisted.
Nincy over to third base. We mentioned in earlier broadcast his ability to pick out balls in the dirt. So far, we've seen Lialios do a nice job of blocking those balls that have come in from Travell Hill. We'll see if Nincy can take advantage of an opportunity should he get one.
Hill's first pitch to Gioso is fouled off on the first base side. Sweltering hot here in the 0-1 pitch. A ball on the inside. I wonder at all if it's hard to grip the baseball when you sweat this much. You have to be rubbing your hand from time to time against the pant leg. dry off your hand to get a better grip on the baseball. The 1-1 pitch is fouled back, and Gioso's down 1-2. Hill looking to limit the damage at 1 for the inning for the Kings. Gioso looking to add to it. 1-2, and he swings through it. The Collegians, after 1, lead 1-0. To the top of the second when we come back here on the Boulder Collegians YouTube channel.
Second at 8 p.m. each night. It's only a couple weeks away, and we hope you'll make plans for a great weekend of international college baseball action here in Tucson, June 15th and June 16th.
Back in Tucson, Arizona, at Keno Veterans Memorial Stadium. A beautiful backdrop for baseball, now known as Sentinel Peak. Behind us, though, or in front of us, rather, behind the baseball field, the first pitch from Trinka is in there for a strike, are the San Catalina Mountains.
Yeah, we've got a great view of Mount Lemmon there, the highest peak that we can see in plain sight here in Tucson.
Trinka's second pitch misses, looked like it was an off-speed one. Trinka on 1-1. Curveball high, did not have the control. Tucson, Arizona hosts the University of Arizona, 60 miles north of the border of Mexico, about 90 miles southeast of Phoenix. This one swung on and tapped over to the first base side. Taylor cuts off Bullock and throws to Trinka. And good job, boys, on that PFP.
Shortstop 14, Brandon Boulder.
Tucson's population is just at 520,000. The metropolitan area tops off at just under 1 million, making it one of the 35 largest cities in the United States. First pitch misses from Trinka. Has a rather sizable airport as well, which is unique considering how close it is to Phoenix. Trinka on 1-0. That pitch misses as well.
Has an elevation just over 2,000. So for us that live in Boulder, in beautiful Colorado, we're pretty much at sea level, I'd say.
This one's shot into left field. If it stays fair, it's extra bases. It does not. The Collegians catch a break there as that ball just goes foul. And it's 2-1 from Trinka to Holbert, the shortstop. Holbert watches a pitch on the outside, and that makes it 3-1. Trinka's pitch is shot into left field again. This time Neal tracking under it. It's going to take a few steps to his left, and he comes down with the ball for the second out of the inning.
Third baseman 9, Dallas Minor.
And that was a sneaky good catch by David Neal with the Arizona sky this time of night. It's very easy to lose the ball once it gets above the lights, but still into the sunlight. The ball appears lighter than white, if that is possible, and somewhat blends into the sky. This one to center field. Nitze roaming back, reaches over his shoulder, and it's over his head. Binder towards second, now roaming towards third, stops at second. Good throw by Nitze, and that's a 2-out double for Binder.
Before I got a chance to say that Holbert had hit the hardest hit ball that we've seen in the past 2 days, Dallas Binder does a nice job of airing one out, just a bit short of that 405 center field fence.
Trinka from the stretch once more, comes set, throws a off-speed pitch for a strike. The record high for Tucson is 117. The average high this time of year is 100, so we've been just over that. Trinka quickly ahead 0-2 on the on the catcher, Laios. Laios waits on a curveball, and that'll make it 1-2 as Trinka was trying to generate a swing low in the zone. Trinka again ahead, and this time he gets the strikeout. Bonar will not be able to tag him, but he throws it over to Taylor, and the Collegians are out of the inning. To the bottom of the second we go when we come back. Back for the second inning in Tucson, Arizona, where the Collegians are ahead 1-0. They will have their home half of this inning. Batting first for them is first baseman Gabe Gioso, who is DHing tonight. I'm sorry, Gioso was the last out of the last inning. We were having some problems then. I forgot about that already. Got to think quick, Patrick, when you're a broadcaster. Quick thinking, you want to lose your train of thought, but batting now is Brady Mitchell. In right field tonight, Mitchell, also from Barton Community College.
Definitely has one of the better haircuts on the team. He's got it sporting a nice little mohawk with curly blonde hair in the back. It's pretty sharp.
Mitchell fouls this one off, and it's 1-1.
One of the larger events that's held here in Tucson is the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show, held every January and February. They've got some amazing gems and minerals that are there, and my wife and I, we've been talking about going there for the past few years, as she owns her own little business, greenfeatherjewelry.etsy.com, if you want to check that out.
2-1 and a strike this time against Mitchell, and Hill is back on the hill with a 2-2 even count to start the inning. on 2-2. This one bounced towards short. It'll go up the middle for a base hit. And Mitchell strides in the first in a big turn and will hold there, bringing up Mark Taylor.
Mitchell did a nice job throwing his hands at that ball and getting his first hit for the Collegians here in the 2018 season.
I tried to experience some of Tucson today. I checked out a local sandwich shop that I heard lots about, and that was Iggy's. Had myself an Iggy iced drink. It was very nice considering the temperature was at 105. Taylor lays down a bunt. It hits his bat twice. That means it's a foul ball, and they will do it again. University of Arizona, of course, the main employer, the main part of town, the University of Arizona, which is a public university here in downtown Tucson. 0-1 from Hill. Taylor swinging this time up the middle. Holbert across the bag, and that will go for a double play for the Kings and a big spot to start the inning. Collegians' leadoff single is all but erased. Bryce Bullock from UNLV on the right side watches a strike on the first pitch from Hill. Hill a bit lankier. The mound down on the field looks higher than usual. It's a very high mound. Bullock swings through the second pitch, and he's down 0-2. Not his best game. He will admit it. Had a nice sacrifice fly late, and he starts tonight off with a strikeout. To the third we go. Collegians lead.
We want to thank the King Baseball sponsor, Rickon Financial Group, O'Reilly Chevrolet, and the Pizza Hut.
Trinka on 1-1. Swung through and missed there by the King, and it's 1-2 with one out.
Trenka at the waist. Fires for strike three. His fourth of the ball game.
Number 6, Andrew Black.
Okay. We didn't miss that much. Okay. We'll wrap it up. Trenka doing a very nice job getting his first pitch strikes this inning. After surrendering that double to Gallo and getting a little defensive help from the left fielder Neal, he walked Dittering, and there we saw, for the second out of the inning, backwards K against the center fielder Oropeza. And right now, the right fielder Andrew Black has a 1-1 count on him. The pitch.
fouled off there, and it's 1-2. Trinka looking for his fourth strikeout, right, Patrick? Fourth strikeout of the game already, as you said. Fifth strikeout, won't get it here. It's pounced over into the right side, and Brady Mitchell comes up firing, keeps the runners on first and second. It's a single for Black.
Left fielder 20, Marcus Catalano.
Catalano, the left fielder, in there with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Maybe should be a run this inning. The leadoff hitter Gallo doubled to start it with a hit down the left field line. Dave Neal initially misplayed the ball in left field, came up firing as Gallo strided towards third, and Neal made a perfect throw to Linehan and got the runner to start the inning. That was the first out, a double that was trying to be stretched into a triple. This one tapped up the middle. It's going to get into center field. Nincy comes up with the throw, and he will toss it in, and the Kings tie the game at 1 apiece on the RBI single from Catalano.
Now back for the Kings, first baseman 32, Joseph Escarcega.
The lead, the walk comes back to bite Trebinka, and Trinka starts this at bat with a ball as well against Oscar Escarcega. Trinka on 1-0, first and third, throws a pitch inside. Black advanced to third base on that RBI single. And Trinka's only out induced himself has been a strikeout this inning. Trinka on 2-0 delivers a moving fastball, a cut fastball that goes for a strike. Two and one with 2 outs as the sun begins to set here in Tucson. Tapped foul towards third base. Concessions in order tonight at Keno Veterans Memorial Stadium. Crowd of around 50 to 100 here. As Trinka looking for his 6th strikeout.
Runner goes.
Sorry, 5th strikeout.
Catalano was running on that pitch before Escarga popped it up out of play.
We'll watch to see if Catalano goes again with the 3-hitter up and 2 strikes on him. Fouled off again by Escarga. Having a good at-bat here. Making Trinka work. Manager Matt Senna wanted Trinka to go 4 tonight. That was the target, and he's certainly on target there, but he needs to get out of this inning with not allowing another run. 1-1 the score, 2-2 the count. This pitch a curveball that hits the batter, and that will make him the runner on first with the bases loaded. Matt Senna comes out to talk with the umpire.
Yeah, Brett Bonar is standing a little bit befuddled as to that call. I'm not sure if the batter Escarcega did not make an attempt to get out of the way. We've seen that earlier in the year with some Collegians batters who did not make an attempt to get out of the way of a pitch on the inside and have been called back to the plate for that.
In fact, watching the replay, it looked as though Escarga almost reached his arms out and got tapped by that pitch. And the 2 officials at this evening's ball game have a conversation in front of the home plate mound, or home plate rubber, or home plate area. I don't know. It's so hot.
Jake, you know full well as an umpire like myself that when there's a call like this that is not clear, you call your partner and say, tell me what you saw, and we see exactly that. The home plate umpire, Garcenia, went out to talk with his partner who said, yeah, I did see him reach those hands out, in fact. And home plate umpire Garcenia calls back Escarcega to the plate.
And by replay, that looks to be the correct call. Escarga back at the plate, 3-2 count. Catalano will take off with the pitch. Collegians and Kings tied at 1 here in the top of the third inning. Trinka's pitch misses, and all that for just one more pitch in the same spot. The DH Martin stepping to the plate. Martin's first at bat ended up with a ground ball to the first base side. Boy, could the Collegians use that right now. First time they've been in a close game this year since the first exhibition game. Trinka goes down 1-0. Bases loaded and 2 outs. Score is tied. Trinka from the stretch. This one sprayed into right field. It's going to be short, and Mitchell dives, and this is trouble for the Collegians. It gets behind Mitchell, picks up the ball in the bare hand, scores 2, and that is an RBI double. That plates 2 for Martin. 3-1, the Kings now lead in the top of the third. Perhaps a mistake by Mitchell, diving in right field, but you understand why he wanted to make that play, and it didn't really end up costing the Collegians, as I think there would have been runners on second and third either way. The only question was Escarga going to score, and he's still on third. The first pitch of this at bat is chopped towards Danny David Linham, and he throws it across. Damage has been done. 3 scored in the top of the third against Mitch Trinka, and it's 3-1. The Kings are leading the Boulder Collegians after the top of the third. Collegians trailing 3-1, which is unique, Patrick.
Absolutely. Outside of first inning runs scored by the visiting team in the top of the first inning, the Collegians have not trailed a game at all so far this year.
At the plate, batting is Danny David Linehan, who watches a first pitch ball from Hill. The sun's light almost completely gone. Some pink and red in the sky beyond left field still. Temperature certainly not cooling at all. Second pitch is fouled off, and here comes the third one. On 1-1, Hill from the windup kicks and deals, and that's a fastball outside for a ball.
We knew coming into this game that the Kings were going to be quite a formidable opponent for the Collegians.
Hill on 2-1.
And since the Collegians have won their games by quite a large margin, we had surmised last night that perhaps it would be a good thing for the Collegians to get popped in the face a little bit early and see how they respond as a team.
This Arizona trip is a learning experience, as General Manager Matt Jensen has said, and Danny David Linehan now at a full count, 3-2, after watching that go for a strike. The full count pitch is a ball low, and Linehan takes a walk, bringing up Meadows. Meadows, the extra hitter tonight, an outfielder by trait, from Alcorn State, born in Atlanta, Georgia. And Andrew draws something in the ground, broke a bat last night, hoping for some better luck.
Yeah, before each at-bat, Meadows puts a little X on the ground to remind himself that this is a new start. What has happened before this has been erased.
Don't break a bat is what he's telling himself. Bunt towards the pitcher. Hill looks to second, then decides for first, and Meadows has a good sacrifice bunt that moves up the runner Linehan and bringing up the top of the order.
Excellent execution there by Meadows. He's been suffering from some arm injury, mainly due to the fact that he did have Tommy John surgery not too long ago. He is able to throw. We will see him in the outfield, but manager Matt Senna wanted to keep his bat in the lineup tonight.
Kosh watches a first pitch ball low. And Hill working quickly right back to the rubber, getting his sign. He won't check the runner this time, now does finally as the shortstop creeps in. Does it a second time, the second baseman creeping in, and Hill delivers a two-seam fastball that never caught the inside portion of the plate, and it's 2-0. Three and 0 now. Kosh, possibly the second walk of the inning, and he'll take it.
Patience is a virtue, and the Collegians are quite virtuous.
It's quite amazing how many walks they take compared to how many strikeouts they generate. Nico Nincy, the center fielder, batting from the left side. Two runners on. Nincy will watch a strike on the inside corner for the first pitch of the at-bat.
In 12 at-bats so far, we've seen Nincy strike out not a once, so we'll look to see him put the ball in play again here today.
Nincy now watches a strike on the outside. The third baseman, who was playing in on the grass, Binder, will step back towards the baseline. Infielders up the middle are squeezing the bag at second, hoping for a double play, as Scargega is holding on the runner at first. The 0-2 pitch is fouled back. We'll do it again. Nico on 0-2, the pitch from Hill. It's a fastball outside. Tried to get Nico to swing and did not. Nico's been playing a lot of Fortnite here in Arizona. He's got the room with the PlayStation, a valuable room. 1-2. Nincy sprays this one to second, one hop there, turn too short, Nincy beats out that throw, and it's a fielder's choice, FC 4-6. Holbert just couldn't make that spin quickly enough. Good slide by Kosh made it hard. And Neal is now counted upon to score some runs this inning, and he swings and misses on the first pitch. It's 0-1 with 2 outs. Collegians trailing 3-1 in the bottom of the third. Kings scored all their runs in the top half of this inning. The 0-1 pitch. Fouled off.
With 10 RBIs, Neal leads the team, and this is the exact spot that manager Matt Senna was hoping to put his number 3 hitter in.
Now down 0-2. Hill can work around it once more. We'll see if Nincy perhaps goes on this pitch now with 2 strikes. He does. The pitch outside. Nincy slides in there safely, and Linehan gets back to third as the Kings tried to pick him off of third base. So now there's 2 in scoring position with a 1-2 count and 2 outs to the 3-hitter David Neal. The 1-2. Neal fouls it again. Just a bit behind for Neal.
Please return all foul balls to either hitter. Please return all foul balls to either hitter.
Again, 1-2 with 2 outs. Neal watches a ball. Bonar on deck. Neal at the plate. Nincy on second after the stolen base, and Linehan on third. On 2-2. This one fouled off again down the first base line. Someone's going to have to go a long way to retrieve that one. Almost got out of the park. Fresh balls for the umpire. Hill quickly back into the stretch, gets his sign from the catcher, Jake Lilos. And Treble Hill comes set. 2-2. Pitch outside, and it's 3-2. Great at bat from David Neal. Outfield playing deep, infield playing straight up. Hill's pitch on 3-2. Strike 3 down the middle, and watched by Neal. Did not like the call. Back to his dugout he goes. 3-1 the Collegians trail after 3.
No smoking anywhere else but at this location. This includes e-cigarettes. Every Tuesday is $1 hot dog night. And every Thursday is half-price sodas and popcorn at the concession stand. It's a good old summertime here in Arizona. We'd like for you to join us on the 4th of July for an exciting night of college baseball and our traditional fireworks extravaganza right after SBCL All-Star Game. The Sun Belt College League would like to show our support for the community and celebrate the achievements of those student athletes that have been chosen to represent their teams as players during the summer of 2018. Game time is 6:30. Fireworks begin at 9 p.m. Gates open at 5. Come early and enjoy some food, beverages, college baseball on the 4th of July.
New pitcher here for the Boulder Collegians in the 4th inning as Jordan Kyle steps to the mound. Kyle throws a 4-seam fastball, a 2-seam fastball, a changeup, and a curveball. Kyle from Morningside College, he's a freshman there, throws left-handed, and he's 6'4", 240 pounds. Having a meeting with Bonar as they try to figure out what each other has in their repertoires.
All of which are earned. He walks 2, and he's coming up this inning for the Kings, Binder, catcher Lialios, and Gallo. 2 of those players have had doubles in their first at-bat against the Collegians.
A second meeting before the first pitch can be thrown of this inning.
Both the Tucson Kings, as well as last night's Tucson Knights, are a part of the Sunbelt College Baseball League. Tomorrow's game against the Northwest Boom, they are also one of the teams, 7 of which are in the league.
Kyle's first pitch misses inside. Binder, the third baseman, doubled in the game. And this one will go for a hit as well. He'll stride into first with a single to lead off the inning. Line drive right back up the middle. Kyle thought about grabbing it with his hand. Better idea to think twice about that. Stepping in now is the catcher Lilos. Earlier in the game he struck out. Watches a first pitch ball. Bullpen still active for the Collegians. This pitch goes for a ball as well. I know some guys that were going to be pitching Thursday and Friday in Boulder for those 2 home games. They're actually 4 home games, 2 home dates, both double headers on Thursday and Friday. 2-0 pitch. This is swung on. Linehan has it at third base, tosses to Bullock at second. Wild throw, gets into right. Mitchell has to retrieve it, and that goes as an E5 off of the fielder's choice, allowing 2 men on base. We saw that same issue last night between Kosh and Bullock. This time Linehan and Bullock have the issue. And now they're first and third with no outs. Gallo, the extra hitter, watches a ball outside, and all the batters this inning have started with a first pitch ball from Kyle.
Kyle having a hard time finding the strike zone here tonight. He walked 2 in his first appearance in 2 innings. And the coaches and I were talking last night about the fact that he had struck out all 6 outs in that performance last Thursday. If he can get himself in the strike zone, he will get himself a few more.
2-0, Kyle's third pitch of the at-bat. This one sharply to Bullock, makes the play, throws to first. It's a double play. A lucky Adam ball, and Bullock capitalizes with the throw to Taylor.
Absolute great wherewithal by Bullock. It seemed as if he was ready for the throw over to first base before he even caught the ball. His body language shifting over to Taylor and letting him know, you better get back to the bag, buddy, because I'm going to be firing one in there.
And all of a sudden, the Collegians look like they may escape this jam. Kyle's first pitch, a strike this time, to the 10-hitter, Dettering. He walked and scored in his last at-bat, which was last inning. Kyle comes set from the left side. His curveball is outside.
There we see finally a first pitch strike from Kyle. The one thing I've noticed about this team is how they've gotten their strength or derived it from their teammates. When someone makes a big play, someone else steps up and says, I'm going to be big too.
a bunt for a possible hit here. Bonar comes out and throws to Taylor, and that ends the inning. It was a bit. Back for the bottom half of the fourth inning here in Tucson, Arizona. The Collegians trailing 3-1. The catcher Brett Bonar at the plate as Trevor Hill works in his fourth inning. Jake Shapiro alongside Patrick Lyons. The first pitch of this inning is a strike from Hill. We are joined by former head coach of the Collegians, Taylor Henry. Taylor, you work up at Arizona State, so you made the drive down here to Tucson. 0-1 is a strike. It's 0-2. I know you have a deep passion for the Collegians, and I'm sure you're very happy with the growth of this program.
Yeah, they've done a really good job. As of late, they've done a very good job. You know, the first year was kind of a reboot, so it was a little bit complicated. And then I was there the second year and the third year, and it's just continued to grow, which is awesome.
Third pitch goes for a ball. 1-2 from Hill. That's inside. 2-2. You're a Boulder native, and of course, both of us have heard the great stories of the Collegians back in the 80s, and to be a part of a program that is trying to bring that back to Boulder, Colorado. 2-2, this one swung on and foul by Bonar. Has to bring out some pride in you because you do take such passion in not only Boulder athletics, but CU Boulder athletics and really anything that has to do with Boulder.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty awesome to see a college team come back to Boulder. You know, it's a big deal, and it seems like the fan base has grown exponentially year by year. So we're going to continue to keep doing that. And you know, I've talked to Matt a lot, and I think he's continuing to take him in the right direction, which is awesome.
2-2 to Bonar. Leadoff hitter here. This one skied into right field. Backtracking is the right fielder, and this one caught on the track by Black about 330 feet away from home plate. That kind of died. It looked like it had a shot at getting out of here, maybe an hour or two ago. Taylor, what have you noticed thus far with this year's team? I know this is your first game in person watching, but you've watched a couple of games on TV that we've broadcasted as well. Hill's first pitch to Gioso, that is a strike.
You know, it looks like the bats have done a great job early, which is good. Usually, you know, in summer ball, the guys will take a few weeks off before they come out here, so the bats take a few weeks to kind of get going. Pitching is usually ahead of the hitters at the start of the season, but with the run totals that the Collegians are putting up, it seems as though, you know, the hitters came ready to go, which is awesome.
Second pitch is a strike as well. Gioso down 0-2, checks his swing, and that'll be 1-2. But the pitching has been the most impressive thing to me thus far. I know, as you said, with the bats, and I'm sure a couple of those other teams the Collegians have faced have dealt with those issues. 1-2, and a strikeout of Gioso. Some of those other teams have probably dealt with cold bats to start the season, but you can see the talent in this pitching staff. You saw, I believe, some of that last night when you caught last night's game, and even tonight with Trinka struggling a bit, and so far with Kyle through just one inning, you see the stuff, and it's been playing.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. The caliber of player and college player that the Collegians are bringing in now is just awesome. You have a lot of good pitchers, a lot of good hitters, and it's even better baseball than it was even just 3-4 years ago. So it's great to see, and I think it'll continue to improve even more.
1-0 pitch is fouled back by Mitchell. And with 2 outs, Brady Mitchell at 1-1 against Hill, trying to start some damage as Hill has started to really cruise here. 1-1 pitch misses low. What is something you found over the course of the season, found out in coaching, a summer wood bat team over the course of the season?
You're basically condensing a spring season into 2 months. So depth is a big key. You have 25, 30 guys, but you want to make sure that every single guy, even your last guy on the bench can come in and play, because you're going to have some injuries and you're going to play
at every level. And a trip like this to start a season is so beneficial normally to teams. The 2-2 pitch is bounced to the third baseman Binder, thrown across the diamond as Esquega tries to tag the runner. Can't do it. Mitchell evaded it somehow, and he's in there safely at first base with a 2-out. They scored it in error. It might have been a single. You're saying E5, Patrick?
Yeah, the third baseman mishandled it. Did a good job of recovering, but as you saw, the throw was offline.
But what I was getting to as Mark Taylor steps to the plate is a trip like this always seems to benefit a team, whether it's in Little League, that age group of 12-year-olds, all the way up to even an NFL team taking an early season-long road trip to help learn about each other.
Yeah, you end up learning a lot about the different players on the team strictly because you're staying with them 24/7 as opposed to just seeing them at the field.
That's a ground out to the shortstop that ends the inning. We'll be back in just a second.
Baseball sponsors are Recon Financial Group, Orlando Chevrolet, and Pizza Hut.
Back for the top half of the fourth inning here in Tucson, Arizona at Keno Veterans Memorial Stadium. Patrick Lyons, my color guy tonight. I am Jake Shapiro. We have former Collegians head coach and assistant coach at one point as well, Taylor Henry, in the booth as Jordan Kyle works in his second inning after a big double play by Bryce Bullock helped the Collegians on a line drive in the last inning. First pitch is a strike for Kyle, which has already been a key that we're noticing of Kyle's game, and this pitch bounces in the dirt on a slider. The leadoff hitter, the center fielder, Opreza, is batting right now for the Kings in their top half of the fifth inning. He swings through this one. It's 1-2. Now, you also played in this type of league, Taylor, when you were a player, and you played and coached for some of the same teams, meaning played for the same team you'd wind up coaching. what was one of the big things you noticed that changed from playing to coaching as the 2-2 from Tyler is delivered to the plate, or Kyle rather, and that one's a ball?
I think the big thing is, as a player, you can, as a pitcher anyway, I'm pitching once every 5 days, so I can kind of get fired up and get excited in the dugout. As a coach, when you're coaching, you kind of stay more level-headed because it's a long season, and you let the players go up and down, and you kind of have to be that calming presence in the dugout sometimes when people are getting frustrated or they're getting super excited.
The leadoff man is on. Opreza with a walk. The second straight inning the leadoff man has reached. How much did you learn about baseball or look at baseball differently once you became a coach rather than when you were pitching back in college? Ground ball hit to the shortstop. Kosh pulls it to Bullock. He turns it at first and on to Taylor. That's a double play again for the Collegians. Their defense has showed up tonight, and it's really helping out in this close ball game.
I would say in general, I looked at things a lot differently. Especially from a hitting perspective, I didn't know much about hitting when I played, and then you listen to the hitting coaches say, oh, this pitch is coming here, this pitch is coming there, and, I learned so much to where even I thought I could hit back in high school if I would have known all the stuff that I learned. So, you learn a lot from all the other coaches and all the other leagues, and hopefully they learn something from you also.
Catalano at the plate. The left fielder watches a first pitch strike. Kyle from the windup. He throws a second pitch strike, and Kyle's ahead 0-2.
Catalano's taking some serious hacks here. Struck out in his first at-bat and singled to center field in his second.
Jordan Kyle's 0-2 pitch, a fastball outside, and Taylor at first base started running back into the dugout. It was very close. It did not go the Collegians' way.
It seems to be his go-to move when he sees one of those pitches on the outside corner.
Kyle gets the next one anyway, and that's 3 outs for the Collegians. We head back to the bottom half of the 5th inning. I want to thank Taylor Henry for being with us here on the broadcast. Taylor, if there's anything else you'd like to say to the great, I think, that are listening.
Those kids and for you guys as well, so we appreciate all your support.
Bryce Bullock leads off the bottom half when we come back.
Pitching for the Kings, 36, Keith Lawrence.
Great music here at Keno Veterans Memorial Stadium as we come back for the bottom half of the 5th inning. Bryce Bullock at bat here for the Collegians, trailing 3-1 after the top half of the 5th. We're in the middle of the 5th inning right now. And Patrick, can you name that tune that was just playing?
I cannot. I know you've been through the desert on a horse with no name, but I cannot. I don't know the title.
Horse with No Name by America.
So do I get credit for that?
I mean, you were close. Bullock sees a first pitch strike. Second one he checks at, and that's a check swing foul ball.
New pitcher on the hill, number 36, Stephen Lawrence for the Tucson Knights. Starting pitcher Travell Hill is finished for the evening. He went 4 innings, gave up 3 hits, surrendered 1 run, walked 2, and struck out 3 batters.
Lawrence, a lefty, taking his sign from the third base side, delivers a pitch in. Bullock grounds it to the shortstop Holbert across the diamond. Bad throw, and Bullock will get on for the leadoff base runner off of the error from the shortstop Holbert.
First baseman Escarcega had a difficult job scooping that one out of the dirt.
In the last inning, the fourth inning, was the only inning in this game that the leadoff hitter has not gotten on for the Collegians. Unfortunately for the Collegians, they've only had 3 hits in this game, which has amounted to the 1 run. A lot of traffic on errors and walks. Danny David Linehan in there right now, foul ball on the first pitch. Bullock on first, taking a short lead with the lefty on the hill. Bullock senses the pickoff coming, gets in there safely, so safely that his lead may increase. Lawrence comes set on the left side, Linehan ready for the pitch, and it's a curveball that never caught the back door, and it's 1-1. Lawrence once again comes set, delivers the pitch. It's a fastball high, and Linehan's got himself in a very favorable spot. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Linehan grounds this to the second baseman, Anaya, over the bag, Holbert to first, and that is a double play for the Kings. Just when you thought the Collegians finally may get the big hit, they get a big hit right into a player, and it ends up with 2 big outs. And Matt Senna calming down his third baseman, who just hit into that play, Danny David Linehan. First pitch to Meadows, the extra hitter, is a strike.
Yeah, Linehan had a hard time getting out of the box there. I don't know if he just knew that was going to be a double play and decided not to run it out, or just a little bit frustrated at that opportunity, as that is now the second time that the Collegians have hit into a double play tonight. Out in the left field bullpen, the home bullpen, is number 11, Dylan Chisholm of Linwood University Bellwood, warming up.
The 0-2 to Meadows, and he chops this off himself, and they'll do it again.
Yeah, Matt Senna talking to his third baseman, as you mentioned. One thing that he is very good at, that is having a calming presence and a loving presence. He's a registered behavioral therapist.
The 0-2. This one fouled back.
And really has a good understanding of being empathetic. And that's one of the great reasons why he's such a good coach and why he's helped lead the Collegians to a 4-0 record. So
0-2. Meadows grounds this to the shortstop. Holbert comes up firing. He'll reach the first baseman this time, and that's 3 outs. After 5, it's 3-1 Kings in Tucson.
We ask your cooperation as we return all foul balls to either dugout. Major class for the Sun Belt College League Championship Series, July 16th through 18th here at the stadium for an exciting conclusion to the 2018 summer season. The best teams and the best players go head-to-head to decide who will go to win our chances at the National Baseball Conference World Series, July 27th through August 11th at the infamous Lawrence Lamont Stadium Complex in downtown Wichita. Every major league team, scouting department will be evaluating talent for the MLB draft, and who knows, maybe one of our players will be a major league baseball star someday. The best 4 teams will play for the SBCL Championship Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, July 16th, 17th, and 18th. Game time to 7 p.m. all 3 nights. The food will be hot, and there should be plenty of ice cold beer.
Back for the 6th inning of action in Tucson, Arizona. Dylan Chisholm on to pitch for the Collegians. Was not initially scheduled to go, but the Collegians are going to need their bullpen ready to go tonight. And guess what? He's another lefty. He comes from Linwood University Bellwood, originally from Quincy, Illinois. Rode the bus in with him. He made 12 appearances at John Wood Community College in 2017, started 10 games, had a 5-6 record in 52 innings, and allowed 35 runs.
Tonight, expect to see a four-seam fastball out of Chisholm, topping out at about 85 miles per hour. Throws a curveball as well as a circle change.
First pitch is hit on to Linehan, and he throws it across the diamond. It's an easy first pitch out. Martin, the DH, coming in. Chisholm, one of the only players for the Collegians wearing those long sleeves. If you look hard enough, you'll find a few. Bullock's got sleeves under tonight, too. An interesting look considering it is over 95 degrees. But I guess I've gone long sleeves as well. Try to block some of the sun today. Some of the players, as Chisholm delivers a strike on the first pitch to Martin, dealing with some of the same things we are, Patrick, and that is the sun, which can cause sunburns.
Did see a lot of sunscreen at the pool today as we hung out for a barbecue.
0-1 pitch is another strike from Chisholm, and he's got the DH of the Kings down 0-2 quick. Into the windup, he throws, and it's a curveball short that never reached the dish. Chisholm's delivery is a bit interesting. I asked him why his delivery is way, and he said, "I didn't know my delivery was funky." He goes into that mechanical maneuver, and he delivers a ball. 2-2. Chisholm flops his first hand all about, the glove hand, the lead hand, and then fires with his left hand, and this time it fires for a strike, and that's strike 3 with 2 outs now. The Knights bring up the shortstop, Holbert.
You mentioned not expecting to see Chisholm here tonight with what seems to be 10 pitchers. There could even be an 11th or 12th. Race Gardner, we saw pitch last night, doing well in 2 innings of work. He's now has already left and will be back June 15th. But this is a deep bullpen full of some very talented arms that you can expect to see on just about any night. You don't know who you're going to see out there on the mound for the Collegians.
Chisholm goes down 2-0 to start this at bat. Collegians trailing 3-1 in the top of the 6th inning. 3 runs in the 3rd inning for the Kings. 1 run in the 1st for the Collegians. Ball bounced to the shortstop. Kosh makes a one-hand running stop and throws it across his body for the 3rd out. We'll pick it up in the bottom of the 6th. Collegians could use a run. We'll see if they can get it. Top of the lineup here for the Collegians in the bottom of the sixth. They trail 3-1. The shortstop Kosh, who made the last out of the top half of the inning, strides into the plate. Collegians hitless since the second inning. They've got 1 run on 3 hits. Kosh on the second pitch almost tagged with it, but evades the ball. Nincy on deck, then Neal. Kosh could use a leadoff hit. And this one fouled back.
Kosh, Nincy, and Neal. The bottom of the sixth for the Collegians here.
Bounce to the shortstop, Holbert across the diamond, and Kosh will go down. Lawrence in his second inning of work. An error, then a double play, and a ground out to the third baseman in the first inning of work he had last in the fifth. So 4 straight ground balls generated by Lawrence. Nico Nincy with a single and a fielder's choice in this game is tagged on with a stolen base, watches a first pitch ball. Nincy left on left, watches a ball low. Third baseman playing in on the grass. Shortstop shading a bit up the middle. Second baseman thinks it's going to come to him with the lefty Nincy up. Nincy swings through the 2-1 pitch, and it's now even at 2-2. Nincy hits this one down the third baseline. Long run for Holbert, and he could not time the Collegians hit a ball into the grass, and that was the fourth inning when Brett Bonar led off with a fly out to the right fielder.
Yeah, he hit that one about 325 feet down the right field line. He had the hardest hit ball in last night's game and certainly farthest, and he does the same again here tonight for the Collegians.
We'll do 2-2 here. And swung through and missed by Nico. 2 outs in the bottom of the sixth. Collegians trailing 3-1. Left fielder David Neal into the batter's box. First pitch strike to Neal. From Flagler College. 205 pounds. And he lines this one down the first base line. If it's fair, it's extra bases. It is not. And Neal is now down 0-2. He's a big Cavaliers fan from Cleveland, Ohio. Unfortunately for him, he keeps having interference with playing baseball games during the Cavalier NBA final games. 0-2, Lawrence has him right where he wants him. Neal will try to escape this situation. Fouls a pitch off once more down the first base side.
Well, we saw that in his last at-bat in the bottom of the third inning, where he just fouled off what seemed to be about 5 or 6 consecutive balls back, battling from an 0-2 count to a full.
From the windup, 0-2, strike 3 on the inside, and Neal has taken his second strikeout looking, and both times unhappy with the call. He goes back to the dugout where he'll take his left fielder's mitt and go play left field in the top half of the seventh. We'll be back then.
Moving on to the Kings of the seventh.
Back for the top of the seventh, the Collegians trailing 3-1. Dylan Chisholm still in the game for the Collegians, the lefty from Illinois, facing in the lineup for the slow day standpoint. Only 5 games, and that's because the MLB draft is happening today. Scores from those games: the Yankees had a doubleheader with Detroit. Both those games are final. New York took the first one 7-4, lost the second one 4-2. The Tigers in the news big time because they had the first overall pick in the draft. Grounded to short. Kosh takes it with his mitt, throws across the body, does it again, and has another 6-3.
Yeah, the Tigers with that number 1 pick chose Casey Mize from Auburn University. He's the top-rated prospect from MLB Pipeline. Right-handed pitcher, just can't miss stuff.
Mize drew some comparisons to former Tiger great Justin Verlander. Hard comparison to live up to. First pitch is a strike from Chisholm. Mike Stanton, Giancarlo Stanton rather, I still call him Mike sometimes I guess, had a feud with Mike Fiers, and that feud is firing up, so to speak, as Fiers hit Stanton with a pitch. Then Stanton hit a home run in that ball game and pointed at Fiers. 1-2 now Chisholm after missing. Chisholm facing the catcher Lilos, and he gets him going. 2 outs, Collegians trailing 3-1 in the top of the 7th. Needing a hit, their pitching and defense has been pretty sound. Elsewhere in baseball, 3 games going on live are the rest of the slate. Arizona leading San Francisco by the Bay 2-1. Kansas City leading Anaheim 3-2, that game in California. Atlanta in California playing San Diego, and the Padres are leading 3-2. First pitch of this at-bat is a strike. The second pitch, well, there was no second pitch yet. The first pitch was a strike, foul ball down the line, 0-1.
The MLB draft was definitely the hot topic before we had left the hotel to head over to the stadium. Caught up with Nathaniel Bresner Mendoza, Giants fan, who was a little confused by the selection of catcher Joey Bart.
Ground ball up the middle. Bullock ranging there, throws across his body, and the runner is in there safely. Gallo elicits quite the response from the Collegians dugout, as that was a questionable call to the Collegians dugout. Either way, it's a 2-out single. First pitch strike to the 10th hitter, Detting. Dettering now grounds this to Bullock. He'll toss over to Cash at short, and an easy play there, and that gets the Collegians out of the inning. No harm done there. We go stretch time here in Tucson, and it's 3-1 Kings.
All right, nice and loud. Let's hear you. Take me out to the ball game. Louder. All right, sounding good. The Sun Belt College League, thank you for your support. Keep in mind tomorrow, here at Keno Veterans Memorial Stadium. It will be the Tucson Champs at the Javelina playing at 7 p.m. The Kings will play over at Field 5 against the Cochise Stars tomorrow at 7. And Boulder, Colorado will play on Field 4 against the Root. All those games tomorrow at 7.
Back for the bottom half of the 7th inning, Collegians trailing 3-1 here in Tucson, Arizona. Badly needing a hit, have not had one since Anna has called in his bullpen to the dugout, and perhaps they try to get a rally going that way, and it's gotten a lot louder down here with the boys down the third base line. First 2 pitches to Bonar are balls. Bonar, the left-handed hitting catcher, throws right, facing the lefty Lawrence. Fouls this one back towards the press box.
Gotta love the enthusiasm from the boys, as you call them, of the Collegians, up there on the top step, rooting for their team, down 3-1 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Bonar flew out to the right fielder last time. This time he pops it about second base, and the second baseman, Anaya, goes back and makes the catch. One out gone here in the 7th inning. Brings up DH Gabe Gioso. A normal starting first baseman is getting some time off his feet. In the contest, he struck out twice, both swinging. Collegians have struck out 5 times tonight. 6 times, rather. And it's 1-1 as Gioso swings through a fastball on the inside. Mitchell on deck. Gioso at the plate, 1-1, and Mitchell swings through it once more. From the windup, 1-2 from Lawrence on the left side. Fastball high, couldn't get the pitch to go where he wanted it. Has 2 strikeouts since coming into the game in his 3rd inning of work right now in relief of the starter, Trevor Hill. Lawrence from the windup, and he has a foul ball. Thought he had a strikeout, but fouled off by Gioso at the plate.
Warming in the Collegians bullpen is number 16 right-hander Roger Cruz.
This pitch low, and it runs the count full at 3-2 for Gioso, who's trying to get a rally going.
Nice job holding back his swing, Gioso there on the check swing. Home plate umpire Garcenia went down to first, who called Gioso safe on the no swing.
Lawrence is 3-2. Gioso swings through it, and that's the 3rd strikeout in relief for Lawrence. And if the Collegians have a rally in the 7th inning, it will be of the 2-out variety as Mitchell steps to the plate. Brady, also from Barton Community College, very solid hitter. He's rolled up his sleeves. Looks more like Ted Kozlowski of the Reds in the 70s right now than his fellow teammates. Scorching hot still here in Tucson. Temperature right now is about 92 degrees, was 101 at game time.
You know, mentioning Ted Kozlowski here might give GM Matt Jensen an idea about potentially a sleeveless Collegian jersey to add to the mix.
The 0-1 swung on and missed by Mitchell. The last thing Matt Jensen needs are more ideas. 0-2, 2 outs, Collegians trailing 3-1. This one bounced to the third baseman. Binder across his body will make the throw on to Escueda at first, and that finishes the 7th inning. Collegians have 6 outs left to play with. They trail by 2. We go to the 8th.
Thank you to the Kings baseball sponsor, Recon Financial Group, O'Reilly Chevrolet, and Pizza Hut. Pitching for Boulder, 60, Roger Cruz.
Back for the 8th inning, Collegians trailing 3-1. The Tucson Kings have 3 runs on 7. The Boulder Collegians have 1 run in an inning and 2 errors of their own.
Dylan Chisholm's night is done. He threw 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, allowed just 1 walk, and struck out 2. Well, much like the Collegians having a hard time getting runners on base and getting hits, the same can be said for the Kings here tonight, particularly since starting pitcher Mac Trunka has left the game.
Roger Cruz, who I had a good evening with last night, steps onto the mound. The righty, the first righty for the Collegians of the evening, winds and deals his first pitch. It's a ball. Nathan Brenner Mendoza going to the bullpen right now. He will get the 9th if the Collegians have the lead. Second pitch is a strike from Cruz. Cruz comes from Brentwood, California, went to Fort Hays State this past year, is a junior there, and he throws from the right side, as you see. Misses there, it's 2-1.
Yeah, he's an avid Oakland Athletics fan. Him and his father go to a lot of games together. I know he's watching at home on YouTube tonight.
Misses again, and it's 3-1. This is the top of the Kings lineup. Their center fielder, Orpeza, is up right now. Black on deck. Cruz's pitch misses, and it's a lead-off walk issued to Orpeza.
Cruz started Friday night's blowout against the Pirates. Fared well through 3 innings without surrendering a run. Walked 2 and struck out 3.
Cruz with a runner on, facing Black, the right fielder. This pitch fouled off. There's an advertisement to the scoreboard on left field that says Pizza Huts. I've not heard of that establishment. Interesting. 0-1 pitch. The back picks by Bonar, and he almost gets the runner, Opeza, who took a massive secondary lead. And it's 1-1 on Black.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep our eye on the runner Oropeza over there on first base. See if he can move up into scoring position.
Big lead once again as Orpeza's dancing around on first. Doesn't matter for Cruz, who deals a strike, and it's 1-2 on Black. Cruz from the stretch looks into Bonar, gets his sign, and comes set. Runner gets a big lead once more. Bounce to third. Linehan across to Bullock. The throw on to first, and it's another double play for the Collegians here in the 8th inning. A big one on the turn from Bryce Bullock.
A great feed by third baseman Danny David Linehan. Threw one into right field, his first opportunity. But as a veteran, one of the veteran players here for the Boulder Collegians, he counters on that mishap and turns a great double play here at the start of the top of the 8th.
Catalano, the left fielder, watches a first pitch ball from Cruz. About half the Collegians' team are pitchers this year, as Cruz delivers a strike. In fact, one of the vans, there are 2 team vans, both can fit 15 players, is pretty much just for pitchers. Second pitch is a ball. Cruz's pitch. That one swung on and missed, and now there are 2 strikes on Catalano. Cruz back in the windup, takes a deep breath, looks in to get his count from Bonar. Takes his sign and ready to throw his 2-strike pitch, and it's outside for a ball. The full count pitch with 2 outs is chopped on foul by Catalano. Infield playing straight up, maybe shifting a bit to the right side with the lefty up. In fact, Bullock's playing about 3 steps deep on the grass.
Delay in game, mainly due to the fact that the Kings did not get anybody to get that ball out in right field. That was fouled by Catalano. Cruz going to take this opportunity to talk with his catcher a little bit. Full count. 2 outs, the cleanup hitter. Escarcega on deck. This is a big pitch here for Cruz and the Collegians, trying to keep the score close at 3-1.
Bonar goes out for a bit of a chat with the pitcher, Roger Cruz. Left fielder playing very deep for the Collegians, that's Neal. And this pitch misses outside. It's another walk. Escarcega at the plate. And Linham at third base twice and has walked once in this game. First pitch strike from Cruz.
You mentioned that being the second walk of the inning for Cruz. It probably comes as no surprise that of the 3 batters he's faced, 2 has been a first pitch ball.
Runner takes off. Bonar had no shot at it, but it's 0-2. Escarcega.
He threw first pitch balls to Oropeza, the leadoff hitter, and Catalano, and ended up walking both of them. He got ahead early here of Catalano. Let's see if he can finish off the job.
That one misses. On 1-2, Cruz comes set. Looks back at the runner at second, then delivers. His pitch on the inside, and he gets Art Escarcega swinging, could not hold up, and it's a big strikeout. Collegians have 6 outs to play with. They trail by 2, 3-1 here in the desert.
Here's tomorrow night lineup in the Sun Belt College League. All 3 games are at 7 o'clock. The Tucson Cats will play the Abilene at their Keynote Stadium. The Boom will play Boulder on Field 4. And the Coaching Stars will take on the Kings on Field 5.
Arizona, where the Collegians trail 3-1. Mark Taylor, the first baseman tonight, is a ball from Lawrence, who's in his fourth inning of work in relief. He has not allowed a hit. Second ball now in on Taylor. In fact, the Collegians have not gotten a hit since the second inning, and they've only had 3 in this ball game. Taylor ropes one into center field, but it hangs up just a bit and then drops in front of Camilo. And finally, the Collegians are back on the board with a hit, and it's a leadoff single for Mark Taylor, bringing up the 8th hitter, Bryce Bullock. Bryce tonight has struck out and grounded in to an error on the shortstop, which ended up getting him out on a double play right after that by Danny David Linham. Collegians need a rally here, down 2 in the 8th. Bullock watches a first pitch ball.
Big at-bat from Bullock here, looking to reach base safely on a hit for the first time since Friday's ball game.
The lefty Lawrence in the stretch for the first time tonight. Pickoff move to first. Taylor got fooled for a second, but slides back in safely. The left fielder Catalano playing normal depth, as are the other outfielders across. Infielders up the middle, Holpert and Dietering playing double play depth. Escarcega holding the runner on at first. The pitch on 1-0, and Bullock watches the second ball. Two 2-0, the count to Bryce Bullock. He's got some pop. We've seen him hit a 3-run home run this season at Scott Carpenter Park. And the third pitch, a curveball that drops into the bottom part of the zone for a strike. Had to be surprised to see a 2-0 breaking ball. Linehan on deck. Bullock, the second baseman, at the bat right now. And he swings at a pitch down and in, pops up behind. Bryce Bullock gets a pop-up to go as a hit, and at this point in the ball game, anything will do for the Collegians. They have 2 on with no outs in the 8th.
I was worried Taylor was going to get caught up between first and second, waiting for that ball to drop in, but if you saw where the second baseman, Dietering, had started out, he had a very long way to go and really had no chance at all to catch it.
He was in double play depth, so coming down the line was a bit too hard, and great base running there by Taylor to watch that through. And now you'd have to think that Danny David Linehan is in a bunt situation as the 9th hitter who's already grounded into a double play, and the tying run being at first here in the 8th inning. Meadows, the extra hitter, is still on deck. Double play depth up the middle. They're holding the runner on. Third baseman thinking about a bunt. Linehan on the first pitch will swing opposite field. This one's going to get down. The runner on third is coming home, and that's Taylor. And Taylor with a late stop sign. Now there are 2 Collegians on third base. Bullock back to second. He's in a pickle. Taylor takes off for the plate. Now Taylor's in a pickle. 2 guys still at third base, and Taylor is called out at third. Bullock runs into an out at second. Oh, no, they called him safe. The Kings thought they had an out. Either way, some horrible base running by the Collegians. And manager Matt Senna's confused. He'll talk to the umpire. So a line drive to right field, and there was a send that had Bullock or Taylor coming around third, and Senna put up his stop sign for Bullock, who was coming towards third base, and Taylor saw that out of the rear view of his eyes and thought that was a late stop sign for him. Instead, Taylor got caught at third base. Bullock tried to move up to third, which was the right thing to do considering the rundown, then had to retreat to second, and we've got Danny David Linehan at first, and Bullock in second, and Taylor out.
Great effort by the third baseman, Dallas Binder, who made that tag on third base. And right now, Matt Senna is talking with the base umpire, arguing the fact that although the third baseman made a great effort, his slide into third base knocked the runner, Taylor, off of the bag, forcing him out.
And Senna getting a bit animated here, gets a warning from the umpire to be quiet, and that brings up Meadows to the plate, and there are runners on first and second with one out. A double play gets the Kings out of the inning. A hit in the gap may score and tie the game at 3. And now all of a sudden, Meadows grounds one to short. Holbert to the bag at third, and Binder holds on for the out. Bullock slides in, and he is out. So runners still at first and second after all of that with 2 outs after the fielder's choice. Brings up the leadoff hitter, Addison Kosh, who has a triple, a walk, and a ground out to short in this game. Collegians with 3 hits in this inning after only 3 hits in the ball game have not scored. Kosh watches a first pitch ball. They trail 3-1 here in the 8th with 2 outs. Kosh, the shortstop. Lawrence, the lefty, comes set. Delivers, and it's a fastball high. That goes for a ball. It's 2-0. Kosh from Fort Hays State, 5'9", 175-pound sophomore from Parker, Colorado originally. Lawrence in the stretch. Now fires, and this one sprayed back up the middle, gets down in center field. That's going to score 1 as Linehan rounds third, and Meadows into third safely, and a great base running play by Kosh. He's in at first. So an RBI single for Kosh, and the tying run now at third here in the 8th inning as the Collegians have finally capitalized on this good inning of hitting.
Nobody warming up in the bullpen except the new pitcher coming in. Looks to be a left-hander. That might be Lawrence.
Lawrence coming out, new pitcher coming in for the Kings. We'll tell you about him when we come back in just a bit. Collegians have the tying run on third with 2 outs in the 8th. Back in the bottom half of the 8th inning after the pitching change, 3-2 the Collegians trail with 2 outs. Jake Tucker, number 30 for the Tucson Kings, has stepped in to finally finish this inning. Hopefully for the Kings is what they are thinking. And the Collegians are hoping that Nico Nitze gets a hit because that would bring home Meadows, who is on third base, as the tying run. The go-ahead run, Kosh, is on first. Big spot here for the Collegians, who have trailed most of this ball game, and it's the first time this year that they've really trailed. They scored 1 in the first, and the Kings answered with 3 in the third. Collegians did not have a hit from the second inning until this, the 8th inning.
Interesting call by Kings manager Martin Pareda, who takes out his left-handed pitcher to face the left-handed hitting Nico Nitze.
Nitze with a single, a fielder's choice, and a strikeout in this game. Tucker comes set, delivers on the outside. That's a fastball for a strike. You may see Kosh take off at some point. He is the leadoff hitter, and he's got some speed. Meadows on third. We may see a double steal, perhaps. Kosh slides back in safely on the pickoff attempt. One strike on Nitze. Nico from Adams State University is a native of Denver. The left-handed batter gets the pitch from Tucker, and it may as well have been a pitch out. It was high and wide. Big 1-1 pitch here. Tucker looking in for his sign, comes set, and the runner is going. Kosh from second, he holds up there. Collegians with a rundown on purpose. Meadows coming home, good throw, and Meadows caught in a pickle. The ball is out at third base, and Kosh into second. Meadows stays at third. So the Collegians there were trying to get an out at second before they scored or score a run before they got an out at second. They could not do so, so they take the stolen base at second with Meadows staying at third.
Gutsy but wise call by manager Matt Senna with the personnel he had on the field. Fast shortstop in Kosh, veteran runner on first base, as well as the incredibly speedy Andrew Meadows on third base, quick to get back to the bag.
Tucker's 2-1 pitch misses outside, and Nitze's up 3-1.
Jake Tucker fired a first pitch strike, the 6'5" righty from right here in Tucson, Arizona, from Caña del Oro College. He's falling behind.
3-1 to Nitze. He lines this over the second baseman's head. 1 run scores. That's going to bring in 2, and a huge 2 RBI single in the bottom of the 8th. Goal over the baseman of the Kings. And now quickly warming up in the Collegians bullpen with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th is Nathaniel Brenner Mendoza, the closer for the Collegians. All of a sudden, the Collegians, who had their backs up against the wall tonight, have stormed back, and now a wild pitch will move up Nitze to second, and the big insurance run is on second base as well. Dave Neal at the plate, the left fielder. He's up 1-0. He's grounded out to the first baseman and struck out looking twice. Disagreed with both those calls. It's been a testy game between the umpires and the Collegians a bit here. No one thrown out, but some conversations. Neal chops a ball to the third baseline. It goes foul, and it'll be 1-1.
Now on deck, catcher number 10, Mark Goulart. He's got the shin pads on. And even if he does not get to bat, expect to see him as a defensive replacement here in the top of the 9th.
Nothing against Bonar as much as Goulart just has more experience with these guys after about 2 weeks. 1-1 from Tucker. Chopped over to the shortstop. Dave Neal trying to hustle this out. Bad throw. The play at first, and they say Escueda got back on the bag. It's 4-3 Collegians after a 3-run rally in the bottom of the 8th. Nathaniel Brenner Mendoza will try to close it back out when we come back. Back for the top of the ninth inning, where Nathaniel Bresner Mendoza will close it out for the Collegians. They just took a 4-3 lead on a 3-run rally in the bottom of the eighth that saw them garner 5 hits, all singles, and they took advantage finally of some mistakes from the Kings. It's 4-3. They lead the Tucson Kings. Middle of the order here for the Kings, as they've got 5, 6, and 7 coming to the plate. Bresner Mendoza from the right side's got those high stirrups on tonight. Misses the first pitch with a ball to the DH Martin. Bresner Mendoza starts with his glove at his face, brings it down to his waist, then fires. It's a line drive that gets through Bullock at second base. He couldn't range those 3 steps to his right. It'll be a leadoff single for the Kings.
Bresner Mendoza was electric last night, getting 3 outs on just 6 pitches. Came into the game to the sound of Kiss from a Rose playing over the PA system. Tonight, he comes out to ABBA's Fernando. So let's hope this is some more good luck for the young pitcher.
Holbert, the shortstop, now batting. He's 0 for 3 tonight with 2 groundouts and a pop-up, showing bunt. Takes it back, but it's a strike anyway. And Bresner Mendoza, number 13 for the Collegians, grabs back the ball, takes his sign for the second pitch of this at-bat. In the stretch, has his front foot a little offset from his back foot. Likes to get a better view of both the batter and the catcher. Here he had some trouble seeing the catcher, and he'll have to go out. That's Brett Bonar to talk about the sign.
Yeah, Mark Coulart did just come in the game as a defensive replacement. We've seen him do wonderful work here for the Collegians before Brett Bonar joined the team. He's blocked a lot of balls in the dirt. Ironically, last night it was Brett Bonar who was catching in the game with Bresner Mendoza on the mound. So we'll see how this new battery works together here in the top of the ninth.
Good catch, Patrick. Bresner Mendoza, a bunt again, and this one's bunted foul, and Holbert throws his bat in disgust on the push bunt attempt with the runner Martin going. It's hard to see those catcher numbers because of the catching chest strap that they have that comes and wraps back around their back. Bresner Mendoza up 0-2 on the shortstop Holbert. Martin on first. He's the tying run. Collegians up 4-3 in the top of the ninth. Playing a home game here in Tucson. Wild pitch from Bresner Mendoza. Goulart couldn't get his glove on it, and the tying run now at second with no outs.
Carter in college, went to Clark College this past year. He will be transferring. He said even in high school he was a starting pitcher and has never thrown on back-to-back games. So we'll see how he does for the remainder of the top of the ninth.
Bresner Mendoza gets his sign from the stretch. His arms come together at his belt, and then he throws a fastball that almost catches Holbert in the head. He ducks out of the way. And it's 2-2. This one bounced to third. Sorry, we had a change here. This isn't Holbert anymore. This is Kyle Riviera at the plate. Riviera from the right side, wearing number 13, opposite of 13, Bresner Mendoza. The 2-2 pitch from Bresner Mendoza. This one shot into center field. Backtracking is Nincy. Then he comes on and makes the play. Took his first step back like you're taught in high school level baseball, and then he comes down and makes the play in front of him. A nice play by Nico Nincy, and it amounts to the first out. Every play at this point in the ball game gets a little amplified. No more routine plays when you get to this point in the ball game. And Nico, who just had the go-ahead hit in the bottom half of the eighth inning, making that defensive play. Bresner Mendoza on now, facing the third baseman Binder, and the first pitch is the ball.
Bryce Bullock calling time to talk with his young teammate. Bresner Mendoza sought out manager Matt Senna in the past few days and said, I would like an opportunity at this job at being a closer.
Both him, Bresner Mendoza, and Bullock are two of the younger guys on this team. Bresner Mendoza looks in on Goulart, gets his sign. Binder ready at the bat. Bresner Mendoza kicks and fires, and a misfire on the transfer from Goulart from the glove to the hand, and that goes as a pass ball. And with one out, the tying run is now at third base as the runner has moved around the bases off of misplays by the battery.
Binder's put the ball in play every single time, so that is why you're seeing the Collegians defense up on the grass. Of course, it is typical in a close game like this. Cut down that runner at home plate.
A double, a single, and a ground out to the shortstop. We'll see if the runner Martin is going on contact. 2-0 the count. Binder in a favorable spot against Bresner Mendoza. The 2-0 pitch is low, and now it's 3-0, and the Collegians are at risk of the go-ahead run being at first.
Bresner Mendoza staying with the stretch here, and the runner on third base to keep him a little bit closer.
If he was in the windup, the contact play certainly would be on. Bresner Mendoza's pitch is a strike. Bresner Mendoza there, varying his leg kick a bit higher on the 3-0 pitch. The 3-1 with one out to Binder. Tying run on third. This one fouled off. Collegians leading 4-3, just took the lead in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Bresner Mendoza on to close it out. The leadoff man Martin got on via a single. Wild pitched his way to second, then moved up on a pass ball to third. The count is full to the third baseman, Binder. Bresner Mendoza comes set, fires, and that's strike 3. He gets him swinging. The second out of the inning, and Bresner Mendoza with a big pitch to get Binder.
Well, much like last night when Bresner Mendoza made that sliding grab, tossed it over to first base for the second out of the 9th, once again the Collegians dugout is coming alive.
Collegians dugout on its feet. Lilos the catcher. First pitch strike from Bresner Mendoza.
Outside of a fielder's choice in the 4th inning, he has struck out in his other 2 at-bats tonight.
Tying run on third, 2 outs. Collegians leading 4-3, top of the 9th. Bresner Mendoza comes set. Fires on 0-1, and that's strike 2. Collegians 1 out away from a big comeback win here in Tucson, Arizona. Defense playing normal depth now up the middle and all around the infield. Outfielders playing normal depth as well. 0-2 to the catcher Lilos from Bresner Mendoza. Just missed outside. A couple players thought they had the strike. Perhaps they saw that pitch with their heart instead of their head.
Goulart was standing up. He wanted that pitch up in the zone to try to get Lialios to chase.
1-2 to Lialios. 2 outs, tying run on third. Bresner Mendoza comes set and fires from the right side, and it's a ball on the inside part of the plate. Just missed with a breaking ball that never broke. Bresner Mendoza still can throw a pitch wherever he wants on 2-2, has afforded himself that opportunity. A big spot here in the 4-3 game in the top of the 9th. Bresner Mendoza, 1 pitch away, and this one bounced into the dirt, and Goulart did a great job of blocking it.
Excellent defense you see there, why Matt Senna decided to put Goulart here in the game.
The count full, 2 outs. Tying run on third. Collegians leading 4-3. Top of the 9th, the Collegians are the home team here tonight in Tucson against the Knights. Bresner Mendoza, the closer, 1 pitch away from a Collegians win. Fouled off by Lilos. We'll do it again at 3-2. Dark as night all around the stadium, about 50 fans in attendance. Fresner Mendoza, 3-2 and 2 outs in the ninth. Gets Lilo's swinging. Collegians win. Collegians who play and end up winning 4-3 against the Tucson Kings. The Collegians failed to get a hit from the second till the 8th inning. Scored 3 in the some bad luck on the base paths. And then Fresner Mendoza worked around a leadoff single to finish the job in the ninth. This is the type of win early on in the season that's got to give the guys some more confidence, Patrick.
It was nice seeing this team battle behind after getting knocked in the face early on with those 3 runs in the top of the third. The bullpen did a fantastic job throwing 6 innings of shutout ball, surrendering only 3 hits and 4 walks. Roger Cruz did an amazing job in the 8th inning, getting a lot of defensive help from these Collegians, turning 2 double plays and being very opportunistic here late in the ballgame.
And the type of win that can bring a team together. In fact, it did, as the pitcher-onlys joined the players in the dugout for the last portion of the game. Collegians win here on their second night in Tucson, Arizona, 4-3. They're back tomorrow here in Tucson before 2 doubleheaders on Thursday and Friday in Boulder. We'll try. We don't know what the situation is going to look like on the backfields tomorrow at 7:05, but we will try to have that broadcast for you. We will at least have updates, so stay tuned to Twitter and Facebook for all the Collegians updates. He's Patrick Lyons. I'm Jake Shapiro. I want to thank former Collegians head coach Taylor Henry for joining us earlier on the broadcast, and we will see you very soon. Collegians win 4-3.